Carmela, I think of all the foods out there, seafood is your top choice. Is that correct?
Oh, for sure.
Whew. Okay, well, good. I'm glad I got that
nice
one right.
Job,
okay,
honey.
So when you think about pairing seafood and wine, the obvious choice is what?
Well, I always choose white wine.
Now, that's good, and that's right, but do you want to find out why that is true?
I do.
Well, then let's do it.
Woo!
Hello, and welcome to the Wine Pair Podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of a reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hi there.
And we are the Wine Pair.
Woo.
All right, a quick orientation for those of you who may be new to the podcast. In each episode, we learn about and we taste and we review 3 wines that are reasonably priced, which means
under $20.
That's right, and should be easy for you to find. And our goal is to have some fun and to learn about some new wines and talk about wines in a way that regular people like us who aren't so bright can understand.
Wow, wait a minute. I didn't approve that one.
Okay. And we're proud to say that we are officially...
For yourself.
I am not very bright. Okay, and we are proud to say that we are officially recommended by the editors of Decanter Magazine who call us fun, irreverent,
chatty,
and entertaining. All right.
Yay.
Okay, well, Carmela, after a week's break, we are back.
We are back in action.
Woohoo! And some of you may not have quite noticed that we were on hiatus because we did release a mini-sode last week.
We did, and it was a great one. I remember it.
It was so great.
It was so good. And we got to taste chocolate. That was the best part.
Chocolate. And the truth is, we just release those mini-sodes during weeks when we're out of town or not able to do a podcast or unable to do a full podcast.
It's a new thing. It's called
for whatever reason. A podcast. Okay. But because you were so sad, Carmela, that we didn't do an episode last week, you were like, can we please do one? Can we please do it? And she's crying right now. We are back and we are focusing on something that you will like, Carmela, which we've already talked about, and it's pairing wine with fish.
Wow. Are you just trying to appease me this time?
Honey, my whole life is trying to appease you.
Yeah.
It's not even this time. It's all the time.
I'm really hard to please, too, or appease.
If you only knew.
Wow,
okay.
am I that difficult?
You are.
I'm
okay,
sorry.
So we're lining up this episode with the fish-eating season that is upon us, and I call that Lent. Some people call that
true.
Lent, right?
I was just about to say, I don't know. Fresh fish is usually more plentiful in the summer.
Right.
But then I'm realizing now why you're choosing this.
You're so smart.
No, you're smart.
And I know we talked about this in an episode last year. In fact, it was episode 23, if any of you are interested. And we even tried to pair wine with a filet-o-fish from McDonald's.
I remember because, I mean, they're good.
Yeah, they are good. And we did it with a white Bordeaux, which was really fun. But in last year, we got into the whole Lent thing a little late. We were a little late to the party. It was getting close to Easter. And so I said, this year, we're going to get ahead of it. And we're going to talk about wines that pair well with fish. And as an added bonus, Carmela, we are going to pull some wines right out of our wine cellar. That's really our wine closet. And clear it out a little bit, which I think will make you happy.
How much are we drinking?
About 57 bottles. No, It's only 3, but look, every little bit helps.
No, what it does is just opens up space for new ones.
That's right.
Really what it does. You're like, I have a delivery coming in tomorrow.
Finally, after all these years, she finally figured me out. Okay.
Not that smart.
All right. So many of you out there in listening land may be wondering why we are talking about Lent and fish. And here's the scoop.
Okay.
Right? Carmela and I, as those of you who may have listened to us for a while, know we are Italian American. And like many Italian Americans, we were raised Catholic. And for Catholics, Lent is kind of a big deal.
For sure.
And you've probably heard about Mardi Gras, which, as we record this is coming up. But, by the time you listen to it, it might be gone, which is a big celebration we hear, that happens in New Orleans. And it's a big party associated with Fat Tuesday. And Fat Tuesday is the day before Ash Wednesday. And Ash Wednesday is the start of Lent. And Lent is the season in the Catholic
of sacrifice.
And many Christian calendars that leads up to Easter. And Easter is somehow also related to the Jewish holiday of Passover. Because after all, the Last Supper was a Passover meal that Jesus and his disciples observed.
Wow,
but that's a total digression.
Much.
Yeah, it is. So let's get back to Lent. Let's just get back to Lent.
And the wine. Let's get back to the wine.
Okay, good. So now Lent is a season in the Catholic tradition where you abstain and fast and give up something.
And sacrifice.
Right. It's sort of a penance or a sacrifice in preparation for Easter as a way to make it something maybe you look forward to, right? Like, so you're sacrificing a little bit, but you're also, making it something you look forward to. And in the season of Lent, every Friday is a day of abstinence. And what does abstinence mean for a good Catholic, Carmela?
Oh, it's so terrible. It means that you cannot have any type of meat.
That's right. No meat,
so,
no
it's
flesh.
It's so challenging.
I know for
me.
you, it's super hard.
I crave that red.
It's super easy
steak.
for Carmela, and it's actually super hard for me. Ooh. So we eat a lot of fish in Lent because for some reason fish is not considered meat, even though it has flesh. I don't understand, but what are you going to do?
But you would have, let's go back, you would have an egg.
No, we're not talking about eggs. We're talking about fish and wine. We're talking about fish and wine.
Okay? Well.
So that's how we got here, though. Lent, fish, wine.
Eggs.
Okay, not eggs. No eggs.
Okay.
And then I did learn about this on the interwebs, but you know that about a quarter of Americans observe Lent in some form, and so it's not like it's a foreign thing. Like it's not like there's like 3 people in the world or in the country that do it.
Right, that would not be a lot of people.
And here is in fact, Carmela, did you know this? That McDonald's Filet-O-Fish was actually invented because of Catholics.
Okay, I did not know that, but that just it makes such sense.
You want a little story about it?
I would love to hear this
here's
story.
a little story about it.
I thought it was actually created for me specifically.
No,
but
kind of, or my mom.
Right.
Who's like, that's her favorite.
Like 2 peas in a pod.
I think you guys are the only people that actually. Whoa. Okay, so anyway. In the past, in the early days,
wow,
it wasn't just Fridays and Lent, but every Friday Catholics didn't eat meat, and then it switched to Lent because we got
you're like, oh guys, it's too hard. People can't.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And so
too much sacrifice.
And so what happened was there was a guy named Lou Groen, and he owned a McDonald's restaurant in Cincinnati. And his clientele was overwhelmingly Catholic. It was like 85% Catholic. And so on Fridays, his burger sales would plummet because all the Catholics were like, I can't eat a burger on Friday.
For sure.
And so he needed to find a solution. So in 1962, he invented the Filet-O-Fish.
Oh my goodness.
Now, here's what's really interesting. He brought it to McDonald's headquarters, but Ray Kroc, who at the time, he was the guy who bought McDonald's, was like the big McDonald's guy for a long time. There's a movie about it, whatever. Ray Kroc was also thinking of a meat-free burger, but his was a hula burger. It was, I'm not kidding, a slice of pineapple in between 2 buns.
No,
yes,
buddy.
It was. And so they had a bet. They made a bet.
Lou won out.
Well, they made a bet.
Okay.
They made a bet. And this is what happened. They put Lou's fish sandwich on the menu and a hula burger because he called it the hula burger.
There's no protein in that anyway. That's not a good... Okay, sorry.
Fine, but it's fine. Ray Kroc thought he had a great idea, and this was the McDonald's guy, right? And they put them both on the menu, and Ray Kroc said, whichever one sells the most wins. And it was like a blowout.
Oh, I can't even.
It was a blowout.
I cannot. Who would order a pineapple burger?
I was just going to ask, would you ever order a pineapple burger?
Only if it had fish on it. Or like something else with it.
I just don't think a fish in the
I'm just saying
hula burger would be very good.
Sure. You just can't have pineapple though. That's weird.
Just pineapple in between 2 buns is just odd. That doesn't seem like very appetizing.
No.
So we're not surprised the Filet-O-Fish won.
Good job.
But look, Carmela, enough about Filet-O-Fish. We're going to talk about wines that go great with fish, and if you're into it, Lent. But first...
you must do our shameless plug.
That's right. So first, a big thank you to you out there who are listening to us. And we would love it if you would support our podcast by subscribing, which is free. It's a free thing to do. And we want to give a huge shout out of thanks to all of you who have already subscribed. And we appreciate you so much. And another great way to support us for free is to leave a nice rating and review on our website or on Apple Podcasts or any other podcast service that allows you to leave a rating and review so we can continue to grow our listeners. How about that?
I love it.
Anything you're willing to do, we'll take it.
For sure.
And you can follow us or reach out to us on Instagram at the Wine Pair Podcast or on Counter Social, and we're on the Fountain app, and you can contact us on our website, thewinepairpodcast.com, and we really do love hearing from you. And as we do every week, Carmela, we'll tell you someone we think you should tell about the Wine Pair Podcast. And this week, we want you to tell anyone who either likes a good filet of fish or a fish witch, or like my dear mama, who is someone you think is a very good Catholic. Because that's how my mom judges people. There's kind of like 2 people in the world.
She does.
There's everybody and very good Catholics.
Right. And if you are Catholic and a very good one, she will make sure to tell the rest of the world.
Yes.
And he's a very good Catholic.
But you know what defines being a very good Catholic?
Going to church. Every Sunday.
I think there's no other.
No, right.
Like, it's just
That's the determinant. Like, do you go to church on Sunday? You can You could
be a terrible person.
Right.
But if you go to church every Sunday, you are a very good Catholic.
I I was coming up with all these things that makes you a bad person, but then I was like, I'm not going to say that.
It doesn't matter. No, you don't have to go down that path.
Right. That's dark.
It is. It is. And my mom wouldn't like that anyway. She wouldn't approve of it.
She just wants to know if you go to church and then
then she'll love you. You're in. You are in. You are in. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk about why white wine is considered to be such a great pairing for fish and seafood. And just to be clear, when we say fish on Fridays in Lent, the truth is we're talking about any seafood, okay? It's just
not
no
just
meat.
a fried piece of fish between
two buns. That's right. And no land animals. No land animals, right?
No,
That's it.
no.
Okay, so any thoughts, Carmela, on why white wines are a good choice for fish?
Well, I mean, fish can be delicate.
Yes.
And so you don't want something that's going to overpower it.
That's right.
You want something that's going to complement
That's totally
the
right.
fish,
That's
right?
totally right. Yeah, because white wines tend to be a little bit lighter bodied, a little bit lighter flavored. And although there can be heavier bodied white wines like an oak Chardonnay, in general, white wines are a nice complement because you're right. Fish is a delicate
Balances
flavored
it a little
food.
bit.
Yeah, and you don't want to overpower it. Other thoughts?
Okay, what was the question again?
What's the whole point of this podcast today?
The question?
Why is white wine a good pairing
good
with fish?
Good point. Yeah. So oftentimes I think too that white wines are more acidic, or we like to drink a lot of acidic white wines.
You are spot
Am I
on.
on it
And
today?
honestly, ladies and gentlemen, she's not looking at the show notes because I don't share them with her ever.
See, that's
We
why
just
they know
wing
that.
this
That's
thing.
why they know that typically I'm not very smart because I'm always like
No,
all over the board.
It's not about
But today,
smart. It's just
because
no
my
notes.
go-to is drinking white wine and eating fish.
Yeah, so
I
there.
happen to know what I like.
But acidic is totally right because acidic wines tend to cleanse the palate, and that's good. It's like it clears off the tongue, and you clear out your mouth a little bit, and it's good. It's
And
you
leaves
can
space for
the fish.
a nice flaky fish.
Yeah, so you can like taste it. Actually,
Man, are we having fish tonight?
We might have filet of fish. Who knows? So, any other thoughts?
Okay, so acidic, lighter. Usually they're like lighter in body. So they're not overpowering.
Well, actually, that's a really good one. So they are lighter in body, and very often that has to do with alcohol. And so white wines tend to be a little bit less in alcohol. And so they have a lot of times, body and alcohol are kind of linked together. So because of lower alcohol and a lighter body, it doesn't overpower the fish. That's very good.
Okay, wow. Did I get an A today?
You got an A. There's one other one that I would just add in there is sometimes white wines have like crispy fruit flavors, like apple or pear or sometimes pineapple or citrus. And so they pair well in a flavor sense.
The flavor profiles.
With fish. Yeah, with fish. And also the crispness and the acidity, a lot of times fishes or seafood may be served with like butter or cream sauces. And so acidic white wines, that can cut through it.
Right,
so it's really good.
So I'm wondering too, what is it maybe with having like a colder, like white wines usually serve cooler or crisper. I wonder if that, affects. I don't know if that makes any difference with fish. I don't know if you don't really need that.
I don't know. I just think that a lot of times white wines are served cold because like if a wine is really oaky, actually serving it cold really accentuates the oak flavor and not the wine flavor. And so sometimes a cold can kind of tamp down like some of the fruitiness of a wine.
Okay.
So anyway. And then you don't have to memorize all this. You can go to our website. No, you can go to our website and look for this episode and look for our show notes. But here are a few wines that go well with fish. You ready?
Yes.
Sauvignon Blanc, great with shellfish and lighter white fish. Chardonnay, good, especially like if it's oaked, it can complement rich dishes like crab or lobster or scallops. Riesling, which I think is a underrated white wine because sometimes I think people think of it as very sweet, but it can also go well with spicy dishes. Like we had that Thai curry shrimp at Sud in New York, which was like unbelievable.
So good.
And a Riesling would have been perfect.
Yeah, it would have been really nice.
In fact, with that spicy food, it would have been awesome. And a Pinot Grigio is really good with like,
a
light.
Grigio.
Yeah, exactly. Vermentino is another one. A lot of Italian wines here, but like Vermentino is a really good one with a grilled or a baked fish or something with a lemony flavor. So, and then sparkling wine, and we're going to have a sparkling wine tonight, like especially a Blanc de Blanc or something, very brut, very, very dry is a good option for a fish. Now, here's a question for you.
Okay.
Do you think you can ever pair red wine with fish?
Well, I'm sure you can.
Okay, that is the right answer, but it depends, right?
Okay.
Any thoughts about what you might not want to pair with a fish?
Probably not like a big cab
You're right.
or Merlot. You'd probably want to stick to like a Pinot, I'm thinking.
Yeah. So
something like that.
Yeah, here's kind of the rule of thumb. If it's a heavy tannic, high alcohol, heavily oaked, really dark wine, it's probably not going to go. It's just all you're going to taste is the wine.
Right.
You're not going to get a taste of the fish. It's not like it's going to be horrible. It's just, well, it might be horrible, but it's just not going to pair well. But you're right, like a Gamay or a Pinot Noir or Cabernet Franc, you could think of like lighter red wines or red wines that you can chill a little bit. Those are good pairings, and they tend to have like lighter body and lighter oak, and so those compare. So I probably wouldn't, but I don't think you have to say no, never a red wine with fish. I think if you really are inclined, or you really just don't like white wine for whatever reason because you're crazy, you can do some of these red wines.
Nuts. No, and it's funny because that's really when I see my dad drink white wine.
Yeah, it's almost the only time really that he will have
would never
white
choose
wine. No,
probably with anything else.
No, some of that is food choice, right?
Is,
like it really comes down to food choice because he drinks, red wine, like Sunday night dinner and with like a pasta and red sauce and meat
roast
or something.
And, yes.
But you're right. Like if it's seafood, fish, anything,
sure.
he is not going to touch a red wine.
Exactly.
Even though you're right. That's probably more his wine of choice.
Right.
Okay. So let's talk about the wines that we chose for this episode. What do you say, Carmela?
I'm ready.
Okay, so as usual, all the wines that we've chosen for this episode are under $20.
Whoa.
How about that?
That's awesome.
And all of these should be easy to find.
Okay.
And originally we got 2 of these wines from Costco. You don't have to get them at Costco, but we got them from Costco. And as we
so
go,
they're not Kirkland.
They're not Kirkland, but we got them at Costco. And as we go through the explanation of each of the wines, like when we get to the tasting portion of the episode, we'll also tell you some other places where you can get these wines. And they shouldn't be hard to find. And then again, even if you can't find these specific wines, like the very specific wines, the type of wine are super easy to find. There's none of these wines that we're going to have tonight are like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to find this wine.
Because they wouldn't be on the podcast if they were so challenging to find.
True.
Right?
But these are wines like you can find anywhere.
Oh, good.
I think even the sparkling, which is a Cava, I think nowadays you can find anywhere.
Okay.
And for balance, like I mentioned, we have 2 still white wines, which means no bubbles, and then 1 sparkling white wine. And as we like to say, sparkling wine is good for
any day of the week.
That's right.
And really any time of day. Okay,
right.
Maybe not. But
no, any time of day. I mean, mimosa, come on.
Well, sure.
Who's kidding who?
Well, okay.
We flew to New York. It was about 9:00 in the morning, and
you were having sparkling.
It wasn't New York. I think it was San Francisco.
The people around us. Okay, can we just talk for a minute here?
That's what we're doing.
No,
that's what we're doing.
I just need to speak.
Is it okay if we talk, people?
Okay, I just need to get this off my chest. There are a lot of people at like 9 a.m.
Oh my God.
Who are drinking.
It wasn't, you thought I was crazy.
No, I didn't think you were crazy, but I was like, really?
And I asked for a sparkling wine,
like
came out of a can, and I was super happy.
Okay, but people drink several.
Okay, 2
I'm
examples.
Not judging.
No,
I'm
no
judging.
Not
trying to judge.
2
I'm
examples.
Just like, how can you do that,
Okay,
people?
when we flew back from New York, the young lady that was sitting next to you, did you notice? Like, she cracked open.
Back from New York.
Yeah, back from New York. She cracked open a sparkling wine, and it was 7:00 in the morning.
And the thing is that means that it was okay. Maybe it makes sense because that means it was a late night.
It was like 4 a.m. Seattle time.
So maybe it meant that she was just up all night.
Yeah.
But still, she was showing up in Seattle at 10:30 a.m. and already had like 2 or 3 glasses of Prosecco.
Now that one, it's okay because
it is.
Well, I mean, okay. Well,
again, no judgment.
From this perspective, it's a long flight. It's a long flight. Now remember, we were flying to San Francisco. And that's a short flight. That's like an hour and a half
other
flight.
Other person had several glasses.
No, she had in the space of like 45 minutes, she had 3 big glasses of wine, and the last one, she was like, "I've got to get this thing down."
She guzzled. Yeah,
it was amazing.
Okay, maybe
it was
she
beautiful.
had.
It was a beautiful
maybe
thing.
She was like approaching somebody that she.
Maybe she was nervous.
She needed to settle down
or get her bravery up, get a little liquid courage.
Perhaps she was like afraid
maybe it was
of
a first
flying.
date. Maybe it was a first date.
Maybe she was trying to get over her fear of flying. Okay, we have really gone
Benefit
off
of the doubt.
rails, like
Benefit
you always
of the
say.
doubt.
And again, no judgment. For me, I find it impressive.
That's what I
just
was
don't
saying.
even know if I can.
I'm jealous.
I don't know if I could function after having all that wine and have it be 10 in the morning.
You would fall asleep
I'd be
immediately.
I don't even snore. I would be like, ow.
You would snore. Did I snore? when I drank the wine? No, because I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Wow. I'm really sorry. But,
Woo,
wow.
Okay, we have gone on. Okay, so the first wine.
Just an observation.
Okay, you're right. Okay, so the first wine we're going to drink, Carmela, is a Chardonnay. What?
Oh, nice job, JoJo.
But it is an unoaked Chardonnay from A to Z Wineworks in Oregon, the great state of Oregon, which is just south of us here in Seattle. And we believe that A to Z Wines, at least according to our friend ChatGPT, is behind Costco Kirkland Wines.
Okay.
Now, unoaked is key. Unoaked, and that's sometimes called naked, a naked Chardonnay.
Now we're really getting personal.
And that's key because I'm not a huge, and you are not either, a huge oaked Cabernet or Chardonnay fan.
Right.
Now, there are lots of people out there that love a good, buttery, oaked Chardonnay, and God bless you, right?
Absolutely. Or just, you know what? You do you.
You do you.
You do you.
You do you. But for us, all we would say is give unoaked Chardonnay a chance.
For sure.
Whether you like Chardonnay or not. If you like Chardonnay, give it a chance.
Well,
if
we
you
have
don't,
Chardonnays that are unoaked.
Yeah.
I mean, that are oaked too.
Yeah.
We're giving it a chance. We
give it a chance. But I'm just saying, I think most people don't know there are such things as unoaked Chardonnays. By the way, Chablis is an unoaked Chardonnay. Mm-hmm. But an unoaked Chardonnay, I think most people just don't know that that is a thing. And they're becoming more and more prevalent. And I just say, whether you think you're going to like it or not, I think you should try it because I think you'll be surprised that the taste of an unoaked Chardonnay is really fruity and fresh and pretty light. It's kind of different than you would expect because the oakiness and the vanilla and those kinds of butteriness in an oak Chardonnay that's the primary profile when it's an oak Chardonnay, which some people love it. Yeah. It's totally fine. But it's a really different tasting wine when it's unoaked. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and by the way, the one that we're going to drink today is the 2020 vintage, I can almost say vintage of A to Z, but the 2018 unoaked Chardonnay was actually number 58 on Wine Spectator's top 100
of
2019.
Did that recognition make it out of our price range?
No. No.
Okay.
No, A to Z is actually, specifically an Oregon wine brand that tries to be reasonably priced. So you're going to know pretty much if you see A to Z. Exactly. They should be reasonably priced. Yeah, okay. For sure. Unless you get them at a restaurant and then they'll be really expensive for no good reason other than that's how restaurants make money.
Exactly.
It's fine. Okay. The next wine we're going to drink is a Sauvignon Blanc and it's from Substance, which is by Charles Smith. Now, Charles Smith is a pretty well-known winemaker from Washington State. So right here in our backyard, and he makes some really good wines. One of our favorite wines is Kung Fu Girl Riesling. That's a Charles Smith wine. Mm-hmm. Substance is Charles Smith wine's kind of value brand, but they're very good. And I think, and they've been recognized for being good value wines. So I think they fit really well into the podcast. Mm-hmm. And in fact, they talk about trying to be the best value-based wine brand. I mean, that's really, they're not trying to hide it. They're not trying to say, we're trying to be something else. They're like, no, we are a value-based.
They're making that a selling point.
Yeah, this Substance wine, exactly, is meant to be value priced and we want it to be good. Okay. And I think if you've seen the labels, you'd recognize them because the labels are kind of like solid colors and they look like they have periodic table, letters on them. We've seen them. Yeah. We saw one the other day. Mm-hmm. And then what's interesting about the way that Charles Smith makes this wine that I think is unique for a Sauvignon Blanc and kind of a twist on what we were talking about. We're having an unoaked Chardonnay, but this Substance Sauvignon Blanc, they actually put 10% of the wine on French oak. Oh. And they actually put it in barriques, which are smaller. And so that really enhances the taste of the oak. And the rest, 90% of it is in stainless steel, which is usually how a Sauv Blanc would be made. And so it's interesting. I'm curious. I know we've had this before, but I didn't really research it. And I don't think I really realized that it had a little bit of oak on it. So I'm really interested to see like how much of the oak flavor comes through. Right. Does it just add some depth and some richness to it, or does it really alter the flavor from the expected way?
Can we really detect it, or is it, Yeah,
because when you think of a Sauvignon Blanc, what do you tend to think of for flavors?
Well, Sauv Blancs can be kind of fruity.
Yeah, I think of like Pog.
Oh, right. Like a more tropical yes, fruit. I think I can, the tropical fruit comes through more than most of the white wines we drink.
For sure. And so I'm really curious to see if this little bit of oak does something. Does it like kind of, pare that down a little bit or something? So,
interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think this could be, well, first of all, it would just be really interesting to taste and think about. Like, what do we think about it? How does it compare to Sauvignon Blancs that we're used to? And then also, what kind of fish might it work with?
Yeah.
Because it has a little bit of of
oak
oak,
in it.
It might be good for like a hardier fish,
or
maybe a
fish.
salmon or something like that, right?
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So again, I think it's interesting that we're having an unoaked Chardonnay and a Sauvignon Blanc with a little oak in it because it's not super common. And the last wine we're going to drink is one that we've had many times and that we really like a lot. It's called Juve and Comp's Reserva de Familia Cava Gran Reserva Brut Nature 2017. Woo! So now there are a few things in that long name that are significant, and I'll just go through them really quick. The first is Cava. Okay. Cava is a sparkling wine that comes from specifically designated areas in Spain. It's made similar to a champagne, but it does not have the same grapes as a champagne. So there's again some similarities. It's going to have some similarities because it's made in a similar way, but the grapes are different. So that's one.
Yummy.
The second is it's Brut Nature. Or nature, it looks like Brut Nature. So Brut means dry, right? This is always confusing. Dry in a if you see dry on a sparkling wine label, it means it's sweet. If you see Brut, it means it's dry. Brut Nature, or however you say it, means there's no sugar or sweet wine added in the second fermentation.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of times in a champagne, when they're making it, or a champagne style wine, they ferment it a second time. And when they do that, they may put a little sugar or a little sweet wine into it, or, and they don't do that with Brut Nature.
So it keeps it very dry.
Super dry. The third thing that's interesting about the title is it has a year in it, because most of the time sparkling wines do not have a vintage. And that's because what they do a lot of times is they will take some wine from a previous year or previous years and mix it with the latest batch of the sparkling wine. That's just what they do. But if they number the year, if they give the vintage, like especially in champagne, but I'm thinking the same thing here, it usually means it's a very special year and they want nothing but those grapes in the wine.
Yeah. Okay. So this is all 2017 grapes.
Yeah. So if you see a vintage sparkling wine, it usually should be better. It should be considered a better version of it.
Oh, that's
or the
so
best
cool.
version. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And then the last one is that it has Reserva.
I was like, are we have a fourth one?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Reserva. And that usually means that it's aged longer. And in this case, now a lot of times champagnes are aged for a couple of years, or sparkling wines that are made in the champagne method. This one is aged for 36 months.
Wow.
So that's a long 3 years.
That's amazing.
It's aged 3 years before they sell it.
My goodness.
So that's a long time.
Yeah, I'm excited to try this. This sounds really special. And it was under $20?
Under $20. It's really one of my favorites of sparkling wines. It's really good. I shouldn't bias it ahead of time, but I know we like it. Okay. But wait until we taste it, and then you can hear what we think. Gosh, give us a break.
Oh my God. Yeah, we don't want them to tune out.
That's right. Okay, so again, 3 different wines. Although they're all white, they're 3 different wines, 3 different styles, 3 different sets of grapes. And so I think this would be really fun, a good way to see if maybe we think they pair better with different types of fish or seafood. So what do you say we get to it?
I have been waiting, buddy.
Okay, buddy. Okay. Hi, buddy. Okay, we're going to take a break and we're going to try our first wine.
Okay.
Okay, we are back and we are ready to try our first wine, and I will talk about it while you smell it, Carmela.
Okay.
The first wine is the A to Z Unoaked Oregon Chardonnay. It's from Oregon, doesn't say exactly where in Oregon. It's the producer is A to Z Wineworks. This is a 2020. It was $12.47 at Total Wine. It's 13% alcohol, and as far as I know, 100% Chardonnay. So, What are you smelling?
It's very nice. Smells very nice. It kind of smells effervescent, if that's a thing, if something smells that way. I'm getting a little bit of apple, but like a little bit of spice on it too.
A little spice.
A little bit of spice? What else?
I keep thinking I'm smelling banana.
Oh my gosh. You might be.
Do you smell a little banana?
There is something a little creamy about it still. So,
and a little bit of tropical fruity maybe. But I'm getting a little bit of like banana.
Yeah,
I feel like
banana. I like that. I think you're right. Has a little bit of a creamy, sweeter smell on it.
Should we try it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's try it. It's fruity, but you're right. It has a richness to it.
Yeah.
It has. It does have some spiciness to it.
And it's definitely. It doesn't have the oak.
No.
But there is a lot of flavor.
There's body in this wine too. There's
yeah.
body. I'm thinking a little bit like apple pie, like an apple, you know, like
the crust even.
Yeah, no, I could
bit.
see that, but I was thinking more like the, you know, apple pie and cinnamon and sugar kind of together.
Yeah, okay, the filling more than the crust.
More the filling. I don't. What are you tasting, Carmelita?
Wow, what?
Carmelita.
Every once in a while, you just have to throw that out there.
Especially when I'm drinking like Carmelita.
That's weird.
Okay, can we just say?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Can we just say this is a total tangent? We were in New York and we were at this like hotel, right? Yeah. And New York is expensive, but I think it's gotten really expensive. We had 2 glasses of wine and it was $50. Okay.
Yeah. Another just little.
And it wasn't like we got like, you know, Dom Perignon.
It was very odd for the wine pair to be spending $50 on 2 glasses of wine.
We would hardly spend $50 on 3 bottles.
They weren't even like generous pours either. They were just okay. Anyway, so I'm kind of getting behind that whole apple pie filling because I do feel like there's a richness, a sweetness behind this wine.
Yeah.
You know,
are you getting any of that banana? I'm getting. Before I let you answer, I'm getting a little bit of citrus. But you know what I kind of taste is, you know, when you have like an underripe banana, it's got a little bit of that taste.
It kind of sticks
tangy.
in your mouth. It's a little bit like it does sort of linger, not in a bad way, but it does like with that, what you're talking about, it does kind of, you know, sticks around for a little while.
Yeah. And you know, like a banana that's underripe, not, you know, like if it's fully ripe, it's very sweet. But if it's underripe, it's a little tang to it.
It has a little bit of, which I almost prefer.
I know you do. I don't. I like them real sweet.
Oh, yeah. No.
Brown.
Ooh, no, you
not
don't.
Brown, but I did like them with a little bit of like freckles.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Okay.
This is tasty. What kind of fish would you have with this, my dear?
I would have. I think this would go well with spicy food. So I think like that Thai shrimp that we had would be really good. I think fried like a tempura, like a shrimp tempura would be really good.
I could even see like a cioppino with this. I mean, that's a little bit of a, you know, kind of a red sort of soupy sauce, but it has that little bit of spice on it. I mean, it's not a very, very thick tomato sauce.
No.
It's pretty thin and light in comparison, but it has that little bit of spice to it.
You're making me think of this too. Last night at dinner, I went out to dinner with work and we had ceviche.
Oh.
And so I think that little bit of spiciness, you're right. Like I'm kind of thinking a little bit of spice would go really well with this wine.
Yeah. I also think though this could be good with like sushi.
Oh, I think it would be really good with sushi.
With a little bit of wasabi. Right. Like a little, I think it
but that spiciness,
that.
I think a little spiciness, a little saltiness, I think it would be really nice.
Really, really good.
I mean, I think you could, you eat more like flaky kind of fish, like a baked fish. Would you have that or
well,
just
I have
too
to say,
strong?
This is pretty strong for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have just like if I was going to have a piece of halibut. I don't know.
Just for the halibut?
Just for the halibut if I had halibut.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would complement it as well.
Oh, compliment the fish.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Hi, fish. I think your look is pleasant. I like your fins.
Exactly.
Compliment.
No,
compliment the fish.
Not compliment the fish in that way.
Next time I see a fish, I'm going to say,
compliment
hey, I'm going to compliment.
Here's some wine to compliment you because wine always,
you are
makes
quite
you
a
feel
handsome
good.
fish. Fellow.
Okay. No, but I don't think.
Fish fellow.
A fish fellow. Why does it have to be a fellow?
I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
What's wrong with it being a fellow?
It can be a fellow.
How do you know if a fish is a fellow or not?
I don't know.
I don't want to talk
think
about
you
it.
can. I don't even know if that's a thing. I mean, it must be.
Of course it's a thing.
All I know is when my brother cleans fish, oftentimes there are eggs in it. And that will tell you.
That's probably a female.
A female.
Yeah.
True.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm not sure I would order this if I was having, or like pour this if I was having a lighter, flakier fish.
Fair enough. Fish tacos?
Fried for sure. If there was a little bit of spice on it, I think it would
or
do
a fried
well.
fish taco or something, maybe.
Ooh,
yeah,
I could do that.
All right. Well, let's rate this wine. Okay. So, as a reminder on our rating scale, our friends out there, we rate on a scale of 1 to 10, and 7 and above means that we'd buy it. It's good. This is a good wine. We're going to buy it. Okay. And a 4 or below means, hey, nope, not going to buy it. We're going to pour it down the sink. And a 5 or 6 means we'll drink it. You know, it's drinkable, but we're probably not going to buy it. Like, it's not bad, but we're probably not going to buy it. And maybe if there was something better, we'd choose it.
Okay.
So what rating would you give this wine?
So I may be kind of, being a little hard on this wine, but I think I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
Only because there are so many white wines that I love, and I just don't know in a lineup if this is the one I'm going to choose.
Yeah.
So for now, I'm giving it a 6. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. So here's the deal. Again, like that sounds like a bad score, but 6 means like I'm going to drink it.
Right.
I think there are other unoaked. Like I'd get a Chablis first. I think we have some Chablis that I like. I think it's nice. It's a nice wine.
Yes.
I'm probably bagging on it a little bit too much.
At all.
No, if somebody served me this, I'd be totally happy. I'd be like, no problem. I'm going to drink this. Somebody brought it like to the table. I'm like, great, let's have it. Like, let's drink it. I'm not sure I'd buy it, but I like it.
Okay, so
which is funny because I did buy it. So I'm giving it a 6 as well.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Well, you know why I bought it? I did buy it because I'm a jerk and I wanted to have a Chardonnay, but I didn't want to have an oaked Chardonnay.
Well, and I just think we were just...
So for people who like Chardonnay, I wanted to kind of support them, but not.
Hey,
I'm a jerk.
You're not a jerk. But I get your point because you don't want to choose something we know
that I won't
that's
drink.
not in our taste profile.
Yeah, that I'm not going to drink. That's right.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's take a break and clean out our glasses, and we're going to try our next wine.
Okay.
Okay, we are back and we're ready to try our next wine. So this is the Substance Sauvignon Blanc. This is from Washington, the Columbia Valley of Washington. It's Substance by Charles Smith Wines. This is a 2021. It's $13.99. You can get it at wine.com at that price. 13% alcohol, 100% Sauvignon Blanc. So let's see what we're smelling.
Wow.
It's really different.
The first
does not
whiff,
seem like a Sauvignon Blanc.
No, and it is the first whiff is that definite gasoline smell. And I kind of thought when we gave it a good swirl, it would come out, but no, it is.
I actually think you shouldn't swirl it.
Ooh, that or glue or what do you think?
No, I definitely smell that. A gluey, a Riesling sometimes will have that, like an all-sauce Riesling will sometimes have that smell, but I am smelling tropical fruit.
Really?
I am.
Really? This is one of those things, I hate to say it.
You're not sure you should put it in your body?
Right. I'm a little hesitant.
It's almost, okay, this is going to sound really random. It almost smells a little durian-like. Durian is that weird fruit that kind of has a gasoline-y kind of smell.
Yes.
Kind of smells like durian to me. So if you're a big durian fan, you might like this.
really like it. Oh, that's really true, Joe.
I kind of want to just taste it because I'm not getting a lot.
Else,
maybe some flour, but not like a stinky flour.
Maybe there's this is really random.
Floral.
Yeah,
but what?
Maybe a little bit of fig. Is that random?
Okay, no.
I don't know.
I don't think that's random at all.
That just kind of just jumped out at me, but...
No, I like fig.
Yeah, I
think that's a good... Like kiwi at all or no?
Maybe.
Fig?
Yeah, kiwi's pretty different.
Fig.
But because there's a little bit of richness on it.
Fig.
Like a really ripe fig.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it.
Okay.
It kind of tastes different. It's more lemony.
Right. Definitely citrusy. Lots of citrus notes on the taste.
But it's pithy.
Yeah.
A lot of pith.
And a lot of it's sticking.
Yeah.
What do you call that for a white wine?
Well, it's going to have tannin. I mean, it's oaked. It's oaked.
Yeah.
So it's going to have some tannin.
Well, and this is the one with that bit of oak.
Little bit of oak. That's what I'm saying. It's got a little oak on it. It's it's like citrus, but like bitter citrus. It's not quite grapefruit tasting. It's more like a bitter lemony taste or a bitter lime.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bitter lime. I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely has that bitterness, tanginess, citrusy notes. I'm not getting a lot of floral on it in the taste at all.
And I'm not getting that glue taste either.
No, and I feel like the scent has mellowed out a little bit when you're putting your nose in it to drink it. It doesn't have it's not as, it was almost offensive at first and it settled down a bit.
I'm getting stone. I'm getting stone. Like I'm getting some rock on this. Are you tasting any oakiness, like any vanilla, sugary, anything like that?
Are you?
Like a burnt sugar at all? I'm almost wondering if there's a little like flan, like a little burnt sugary kind of taste on there.
Maybe. Yeah, like a little creme caramel.
Yeah. When they burn sugar.
Yes.
I think maybe a little bit of that taste to it.
A little bit.
That crusty, burned sugar kind of taste. Am I crazy?
No, but it does definitely have that gasoline. I was thinking it was going away. It's here to stay.
It's really acidic.
I don't know what I would eat with this.
It's super lemony. Yeah. Oh yeah, actually we haven't even gotten there. I think it would go okay. Actually, I think it would go okay with fish. I do.
It's so tangy. Again, this could stand up to a pretty rich fish. You could, I think, why? Do you think it's more of a, I don't know.
It's so citrusy. I don't know. Like, I guess I don't eat a lot of rich fish. So salmon. So maybe salmon is a good choice. Like maybe a cedar plank salmon. You know, they do that?
I think you could. I also feel like shellfish would be good with it. Even like a buttery
oysters.
I don't know.
I know, but I just wonder if that would be good.
Maybe. I think a buttery sauce, like if you are doing some like an orange roughy fish,
you
know.
I don't know what that sounds like.
Delicious.
A terrible fish. Mean. It sounds mean. That's a mean fish. The orange roughy.
But a lot of times I
kind
feel
of
like
punch you in the face.
Or like lobster. I know that doesn't really it doesn't make sense.
Rock lobster. Okay.
Wow.
Lobster.
But
you like lobster. We haven't had lobster in a long time.
Have you ever had lobster?
I don't think I've ever. I think I've had like lobster rolls or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. Ooh, a little lobster tail.
Do you think that would go well with this?
In butter?
Butter?
I think so.
Butter?
I think you need to have,
Okay.
Not sure this wine is a really one that I would go to for like
fish. Okay. Interesting. Because the Sauv Blanc in general totally would. I mean,
it's so tangy.
It's super tangy. If you like a tangy wine, this is your wine. Oh. But you know what's interesting? It's pretty different from the Chardonnay.
It's not very smooth.
No, it's not. It's not. It's sharp edges.
Yeah.
Sharp edges on it. Okay, but let's rate it. What rating would you give this wine?
Well, okay. I think I'm probably going to give it a 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm giving it a 5.
Okay.
It's not
so maybe
like,
I was Okay.
I'm not pouring it down the sink. That's for sure. I would drink it. You serve this to me, I'm fine. Like, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to drink it. I'll be happy.
Yeah.
There's something else I might look for, something else.
Down the road.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be like, but I'm not going to be like, oops, I accidentally left that wine glass on the table. I don't know who that is.
I dumped it over by accident.
Whose wine is that on the table? I don't know. I've never seen it before. Isn't that your name on it? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think this is yours.
Yeah, no.
You were drinking out of it.
Carmela, was this your wine? Not my wine. No, but a 5 is a 5.
Okay.
A 5.
Yeah. And that's why I'm thinking about the other one. I think right now, I think I prefer the first one to this.
I do too.
But I'll give it a 6 for now.
Okay, I like it. All right, we're going to take a break, and we are going to try our last wine. Okay, we are back, and we are ready to try our last wine, and this is the Juve et Camps Reserva de la Familia Cava Gran Reserva Brut Natura 2017.
My goodness.
And it's from Spain. It's from San Sadurní d'Anoia. I don't know how to say that. The producer is Juve and Camps. It's a 2017. As I said, this was $18 at a online wine shop called Wine Access that I really like. 12% alcohol. The grapes, I'm going to screw this up, Macabeo, Jarelo, and Parellada.
My goodness.
And Wine Enthusiast actually gave this an 88, which is, interesting score. But what are you smelling?
So I'm getting like an apple cider.
Yeah, spicy apple. Spicy apple.
Like a spicy.
Cinnamon.
Okay, yeah. And even though I do think it does have a little bit of pear on it too.
Yes, I agree.
Just like a little bit of...
But it's cidery. Very cidery.
Yeah,
it almost smells like a Martinelli's,
I agree. That's what I was thinking.
But it's spicier. It almost has a peach on it, too.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit of that stone fruit. Yeah, I can smell that.
But spicy.
Very nice.
Spicy.
And not a lot of toast. Like, it doesn't have that.
Actually, it doesn't.
No. A little more fruity than not. I'm interested. Should we
let's try
it? Okay.
It's so good.
So good.
It's apple cidery.
Yeah.
Very apple cidery. Really nice and dry.
It is. It's just like juice.
But it's got a little bit of like, it's got some body, some depth to it. It's got a little bit of richness to it.
It does. It's not like totally clean.
No.
It's definitely an experience wine. Like, it's nice.
And I can taste some bread. I can taste some bread on it. I almost feel like it's a little apple turnover-y.
Ooh.
Like, this one is apple pie with the crust.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And the smell is a little bit different. It almost like masks it a little bit. That fruitiness kind of comes through a little stronger. But the taste, you are getting the full meal deal.
It's rich. It's good. It almost has a little bit of stone or bitterness on the back. Like some like citrusy as well. Ooh, I like it.
I really like it.
It's really good. So what food would you have?
So interesting because all three of these
They're pretty
wines
different.
are so different. Yeah. And they're all like a more of a medium to fuller bodied white wine
You're
than
right.
we typically like.
You're right.
Some of the white wines we drink are very subtle, and they're not knocking you in the face. These are definitely like wine experiences.
Yeah,
I feel like
for sure.
So, I think I would do a lot of different. I would do just like
almost any fish.
Yeah, I think it would pair really nicely. I mean, I could definitely see with this having a nice piece of halibut, or
just for the halibut.
Yeah, or like something flaky,
an egg,
or an egg if you're Joe Melee. Oh,
who's that? I don't know. Our identities have been peeled away.
Oh no,
no. I actually was thinking with this one, because it's meatless Friday, like a pizza bianco, or a white cream, like a cream sauce pasta that doesn't have meat in it.
Oh,
or actually,
like a fettuccine, like a really light Alfredo.
Fettuccine Alfredo would be really good. And actually, I was thinking even with the other two wines, like a spaghetti con vongole, like with clams, spaghetti with clams.
Goodness,
really
this
good.
would be really nice.
I think so too. Yeah, it's nice. It is like Cava sometimes can be a little bit lighter. This one's got richness to it.
Yeah, it does. It
Depth.
really.
Depth.
I wonder if because
like
it is
me,
that
deep.
Wow, richness,
rich and deep.
You know, like
Chris Helmsworth.
No, complex.
Oh,
you're so complex.
No, I have a complex.
You have a complex. Because you're so complex.
That's right. Okay.
What was I going to say?
I have
this?
none.
Hold on.
No idea.
No. Wait.
Citrusy. I'm getting a lot of citrus now.
Yeah.
You're like.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I've lost my words.
Peach.
Anyway.
I'm getting a little peach.
Yeah,
too.
it's so delicious. I was excited about this all day.
Oh, no, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
All day.
Although I didn't know about it.
I know. You were like, we were starting it. You're like, what are we doing today?
The thing is I was excited for the podcast, honey, all day long.
Oh, this is such a lie. Okay.
No.
What rating would you give this wine?
Okay, I'm giving this an absolute, like a really strong 8.
Okay, I am too. I'm giving it 8. I love this wine. I think it's good. And then which one are you finishing tonight? I think we're fighting over the Cava.
We're having the Cava.
That's right. Okay, so let's talk about the taste profiles that we would expect from these 3 wines. So let's start with the Unoaked Chardonnay.
Okay.
A typical Chardonnay, Unoaked, lemon, green apple, floral, pear, mineral, chalk.
Okay.
Also lime, pineapple, saline, shell, and almond.
Oh.
Do we get any of those?
A few.
Wine Spectator said of the 2018, vibrant with plush fruit offering medium weight lemon and quince.
Oh.
Quince is like a tart apple.
Okay.
And Wine Enthusiast...
Funny, I think we were getting a little more cream on this.
Yeah. Wine Enthusiast says citrus zest, green apple, lemongrass, and bracing minerality.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So Sauvignon Blanc. Wine Folly says gooseberry, which is
what the heck?
like a tart apple as well. Honeydew, white peach, grapefruit, and passion fruit.
Wow. Well, we did have the tropical fruit, but no, not one mention of gasoline.
Okay. The winery says, no, you're right. The winery says this. This is interesting. Grapefruit, fresh cut grass.
Okay, but you were...
With a lawnmower. Like the lawnmower fresh cut grass.
Okay, right. But you were getting a lot of pith.
Yeah, lemongrass.
Yeah. And the grapefruit.
And they also said flint, start you on the journey. So flint is like, yeah. And then an outburst of fresh pine needles and mountain wildflowers and lime leaf.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so interesting. Here you go. And the Cava from a group called Sparkling Winos, lemon lime, quince, almond, and tart apple.
Okay.
And secondary often include brioche, fig, and chalky minerality. Wine Enthusiast said aromas of flower blossoms, honey, and green melon. Briny apple flavors turn slightly bitter. So we got that. Winery says evokes notes of ripe white fruits with hints of fennel, toast, and citrus. Creamy mousse. So there you go.
Interesting.
Creamy. Yeah, we got creaminess to the body.
For sure.
How'd we do? We did okay?
We did okay. Yeah.
Not great.
Interesting. No, it's just so interesting what different people take from a wine or find out about a wine. You know, I don't know. Interesting for sure.
Yeah. No, I think we did okay.
Yeah.
It's not a competition, Carmela.
Hey, we won. I don't know about
we
you.
Win.
We won.
We always win. We always win. You know why? because we get to drink wine together.
And we get to have fun doing it.
We do. And compliment my complex. Okay, Here we go. All right. So I
like your complex, honey.
Thanks. Well, you married it.
Oh, yes.
Woo, it's a long life.
Don't remind me. I mean,
so we want to just say again, thank you so very much for listening to us and for supporting us. And so if you haven't done so yet, now's the time to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode, because who'd want to miss an episode? And we would love it if you would also leave us a nice rating review on our website or on Apple Podcasts or other podcast service as a free way to support us and help us grow listeners. And we'd also love to hear from you, so you can reach out to us. I said something, I got in trouble for it. Okay, so you can reach out to us on our website at thewinepairpodcast.com, or you can email us at Joe, not my last name, Joe at thewinepairpodcast.com. And you can follow us on Instagram and Counter Social and Fountain. And there you go. And we'd also love it if you DM us and ask us why we're laughing. We'll tell you. We won't tell you over. Yes, I will. I will.
Okay.
I've got nothing to hide.
Okay.
And tell your friends and your family and your loved ones and your mom and your good Catholics in your life. Tell them all about the Wine Pair Podcast.
People eat, fish fillets or fish witches.
All the time. Yes, or filet of fishes. She's never said the name right, actually.
What did I say?
Fish fillets.
Fillet. That's right. Sorry. Look, it's a fish witch to me.
That's right. So thank you, and we'll see you next time. And as we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.